When we think about making a huge life-altering change, it can feel, well, overwhelming. But so often, that massive transformation, that whole new life, it really just starts with one single powerful decision. And we're about to see a story that proves just how true that is.
So let's meet Tina and John Edgett. This picture was taken back in June of 2013. And it's one of those photos that captures a moment in time, right? This is the before, the snapshot taken just before they made a decision that would change absolutely everything. They decided to take on this incredible journey, and they were going to do it together. And that new beginning started right then, in June 2013. It all kicked off with a single phone call to the Hurley Bariatric Center for a consultation. That was it. That was the first official step. The journey had begun.
Okay, so making that first call is a massive step, for sure. But the real challenge, as many of us know, is building the momentum to keep going. So, how does anyone, whether it's Tina and John, or you, or me, actually build the healthy habits you need for that kind of lasting success? Well, a lot of the time, the first big step is really a battle with the alarm clock. I mean, for so many people who are trying to build a consistent routine, waking up earlier is pretty much the only way to make it happen. It is a tough habit to build, no doubt about it, but it can be the one key that unlocks everything else. So here are some incredibly practical tips to make those early mornings just a little bit easier. Experts say, first off, set two alarms, one to kind of wake you up and a second one to really get you moving. Next, get everything ready the night before, your clothes, your gym bag, whatever, so there are zero excuses in the morning. As soon as you're up, flip a switch, turn on a light, put on some music, just change the vibe in the room. And, oh, this one's a classic for a reason, put your alarm clock all the way across the room. It forces you to get out of bed, and once you're up, you've already won half the battle. It's these tiny, consistent habits that really build that foundation for success. And here's a super important piece of the puzzle. Your exercise should not feel like a punishment. Seriously. If you don't enjoy it, you're just not going to stick with it. You've got to find something you genuinely like to do. Maybe that's training for a 5K with a friend or finding a fun workout video online. Or maybe it's as simple as taking the dog for a really nice long walk. The whole point is to find some joy in moving your body. Okay, so we've covered getting the body moving. Now let's dive into the other equally critical side of this coin. It's time to rethink our relationship with food. This all starts with a concept called normal eating. Now, it sounds really simple, but it's actually pretty profound. It just means listening to your body's physical cues, eating when you notice those first little signs of hunger, like a gnawing feeling or even a slight headache, way before you get to the point where you're absolutely starving. And a key skill here, maybe one of the most important, is learning to tell the difference between a real biological craving and an emotional need. A true biological craving, let's say for some chocolate, is usually satisfied with just a small piece. But if you eat that piece and still feel this nagging urge for more, you might actually be trying to fill an emotional need. And food just can't fix that. In fact, it often leaves you feeling worse. Nailing that distinction is an absolute game changer. So, how do we actually put this into practice? Well, here are a few quick tips. First, choose foods that genuinely satisfy you, that you actually enjoy. Second, eat mindfully. That means paying attention to your food, savoring it, not just scrolling on your phone. And finally, practice stopping at moderate fullness. You know, that sweet spot where you feel content, but not totally stuffed. So, with these principles of exercise and nutrition, what actually happened to Tina and John? Let's get back to their story and see the results of all their incredible hard work. Just take a look at this timeline. It's wild. In September 2013, they both have their surgeries. And then, get this, 1 month later, they're both already off their hypertension meds, and John is completely off his diabetes medication. By March, John has already lost 100 pounds. And just 2 months after that, Tina hits that exact same milestone. The results were not just life-changing, they were incredibly fast. 275. That's the number. That is how many pounds they lost together. Just let that sink in for a minute. It's a huge testament to their commitment, but also to the power of taking on a challenge like this with a partner by your side. And here it is, right from them, in their own words. Having missed surgery and going through it together has been one of the best decisions we have ever made. Wow.
You can just feel the power in that statement. This was about so much more than just losing weight.
Because this is the real price. It's not just the number on the scale. It's the life they gained back. They're going on long walks, they're running 5Ks, they've even been parasailing. And get this, they're even planning to go skydiving. They aren't just healthier, they're living a brand new, vibrant, adventurous life.
Tina and John's story is it's such powerful proof of what is possible. It really shows that this kind of transformation is within reach. So if you're feeling a little inspired right now, you might be asking, okay, where could my own journey start?
Well, today, support can literally be right there in your pocket. The Hurley Bariatric Center, for example, has an app that puts all these resources right on your phone. You can track your progress, make appointments, get information. It's all about making the tools for change accessible for everyone. And remember, you absolutely do not have to do any of this alone. There are courses to help you maintain a healthy lifestyle for the long haul, support groups with both peers and medical professionals, and even free seminars just to learn more. The support systems are out there. You just have to reach out.
So we'll end with this question. After seeing what's possible, from building those first small habits all the way to a completely life-changing transformation, it's really worth asking yourself, what will your new beginning look like?